A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Today I, Meghna Khedekar,
And I, Sunny John Joseph, take great pleasure in welcoming you all to Illuminati 2014.
it is said that if your dreams don't scare you, you are not dreaming big enough. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Illuminati was born. As a dream. A dream to encourage young minds to take up scientific pursuits.
To inculcate within them a love for research,
To motivate them to think.
to question,
To nurture their creativity.
and lend wings to the imagination.
Every year, this one-of-a-kind intellectual fest never fails to kindle the spark of scientific curiosity in undergraduate medical students.
And this year, this academic extravaganza promises to be nothing short of phenomenal.
Today, we have the honor and the privilege of having in our midst one of India's greatest minds, a passionate thinker, an eminent scientist, and most of all, a wonderful human being. This man needs no further introduction.
An inspiration to the entire youth of a nation. We welcome the Honorable former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam.
I now request Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, accompanied by the Director and Commandant, Surgeon Vice Admiral Sushil Kumar, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Nausena Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal, and the Dean and Deputy Commandant, Major General Velu Nair, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal and Bar, to come up on stage and occupy the dais.
I also request Group Captain X. Shankar, Colonel Yashpal Singh, Medical Cadets, Abhinav Vadapalli, and Medical Cadet Arshita Makaria to please occupy the dais. We now request the Commandant, Armed Forces Medical College, Surgeon Vice Admiral Sushil Kumar to please come upon stage and deliver the welcome address.
My dear young friends, faculty members representing medical colleges from different parts of the country, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to Armed Forces Medical College to participate in 5th edition of Illuminati. This is a forum for medical undergraduates to showcase their result. The platform for undergraduate research started in 2010. From the humble beginning, it has now progressed by leap and bounds. This year, we have more than 750 entries from almost all the medical colleges of India, and this is a sort of record. This year, we are privileged to have with us the Honorable former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, as our chief guest. We thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion. Dr. Kalam is not a stranger to FMC. We fondly remember that Dr. Kalam has visited FMC in 2005 to inaugurate FMRC. On that occasion, he was presented with charcoal sketch of the main building of FMC, made by Medical Cadet Purkayastha. Kind courtesy, Dr. Kalam, the sketch is now displayed in Rashtrapati Bhavan. This is indeed a great honor. This is indeed a great honor for all of us. He again visited FMC in 2009 during Golden Jubilee celebration of Military Hospital Kirki. Many of us fondly remember almost every word of that speech. Dr. Kalam is well known for his pioneering work for India Space Program. He was project director for India's first satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3, which successfully launched Rohini satellite in near Earth orbit in July 1980. and thus made India an exclusive member of Space Club. Dr. Kalam has been a key to the development of India's integrated guided missile development program. He was responsible for the development of Agni and Prithvi missiles. He is and will always be known as the Missile Man of India. Dr. Kalam is one of the most distinguished scientists of India who has been awarded with the country's highest honor, Bharat Ratna. However, among the students of India, he is known as a great teacher, a great scientist, and a great writer. His books, Wings of Fire, India's 2020, A Vision for New Millennium, My Journey, and Ignited Minds, Unleashing the Power Within, have become a source of inspiration for entire youth of the country. Sir, I am sure that your presence here at FMC would inspire another generation of students, writers, and researchers. I would also like to acknowledge that it was Medical Cadet Abhinav Vadapalli of X2 batch who initially proposed the name of Dr. Kalam as a chief guest for Illuminati 2014. Thank you, Abhinav, for the excellent suggestion. And I am sure that you do have a highly ignited mind. The temple of medicine stands on three pillars: the medical education, the clinical care, and clinical research. The first two areas are well looked after in undergraduate curriculum. However, it is the research which needs to be worked on. Many of my colleagues often ask me a very basic question: is there any need, if at all, for research at undergraduate level? Well, I feel the only constant in medicine is the change, and 50% of knowledge what we gain today from the books will be obsolete in next 10 years. What affects this change? The change is affected by the people who ask the question: what, how, and why. They experiment with the change, conduct well-planned studies, and then publish the results in medical journals. Many of these studies help us in taking better care of our patients. Research, in fact, is the engine which drives the entire field of progress for the mankind. Like walking, research has to start at a young age. And catch them young is the philosophy of Illuminati. To conclude, I would like to congratulate the Department of Internal Medicine at FMC for pioneering initiative and for working round the clock to make this event a success. Once again, I welcome all the young minds to this academic feast. Looking at that enthusiasm, I am very confident that one day we will have Dr. Abdul Kalam in the field of medicine also. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May we now request the Director and Commandant, Surgeon Vice Admiral Sushil Kumar, to felicitate the Honorable former President.
We also request the Dean and Deputy Commandant, Major General Velu Nair, to please present a souvenir on behalf of the college.
We now request Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam to unveil the first edition of Impulse, a student's medical magazine, which is the spirited endeavor of the Student Scientific Society of the Armed Forces Medical College. Thank you, sir.
We now request Major General Velu Nair, Dean and Deputy Commandant, Armed Forces Medical College, to deliver the speech on Illuminati, the idea.
Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Honorable former President of India, ladies and gentlemen, I'm indeed delighted to be standing here to just throw some light on this event that we are conducting, for which we have Dr. Abdul Kalam as our chief guest. Illuminati is the plural of illuminatus, which is a Latin word which literally means enlightened. And this refers to actually a Bavarian term called Illuminati, which meant an enlightened society. This was coined in the 1700s. And the goals of the society was to oppose superstition, prejudice, and abuse of state power. And most importantly, even the 1700s, to generate support for gender equality. This conference has pretty much the same ideals. And I must tell you that the girls have far outnumbered the boys in the delegates who are attending this conference. This enlightenment is meant to be in the field of research. And research is nothing but creative work which is undertaken in a systematic fashion to devise new applications which will benefit mankind and society at large. What can be better when we can kindle creativity in young minds which will hold the bastions of this nation? Illuminati is all about this, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to take you back to 1st of February 2005, when Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the then Honorable President of India, was the chief guest for the Armed Forces Research Committee conference. He then requested our DGFMS for the following topics to be discussed in the inaugural session, which were HIV, hepatitis B and C, man at high altitude, and stem cells. We were a little surprised by how contemporary he actually was thinking, and he was problem solving the country's problems, and he wanted us to make a roadmap for the country. I was then asked to speak on stem cells. The Honorable President summarized these 4 topics so lucidly that it surprised all of us, because he covered just about what we said. And he also went on to outline a visionary roadmap how to carry future research in these 4 areas. And sir, I can tell you that we have done that in all these areas, and Army and Armed Forces has contributed handsomely to finding solutions to most, if not all. And it is so apt that he is the chief guest for this conference, which promotes research amongst undergraduate students, since he has been a role model not only for the youth, but for each one of us in this country. And this conference is but a small contribution to his high ideals. My colleague, Group Captain Shankar, who was an associate professor when I was heading the Department of Medicine, is credited with conceptualizing and organizing the first Illuminati in 2010. And I can tell you, it's what we pay for is ideas. Ideas become patents. And I think that is the biggest thing, to have the right idea and the right seed to be sown. This he did when he was secretary of the Student Scientific Society. And in 2010, with the full participation and efforts of the students of the college and the Department of Internal Medicine, successfully organized the first conference in July 2010. He has been very closely and enthusiastically involved with this meet ever since. And I have been delighted to see this conference grow over the last 4 years, firstly when I was head of Department of Medicine in 11 and 12, and then as dean of this college thereafter till now. Especially because research is an area which is very close to my heart and is a key area of interest and has been always in the past too. It is said that imitation is the best form of flattery. What better when we learned that 20 other colleges have started holding conferences of a similar nature. This year, we have actually 700 outstation delegates, 200 local delegates, and from 65 medical colleges. Obviously, this has grown exponentially from a humble beginning of 160 students and from 32 colleges in 210. Thank you. This year, we have received a record-breaking 250 research abstract papers from all corners of the country. And I literally mean from all corners of the country. And I'm convinced that this would have a significant positive ramification in the development and promotion of the cutting-edge research at all levels in our healthcare system. Without research, I strongly feel that individuals and institutions tend to become stagnant and a decay sets in. In the words of Frank Burgess, a well-known author, poet, and humorist, I quote, "If in the last years you haven't discarded a major opinion or acquired a new one, check your pulse, for you may be dead." Unquote. Keeping this quote in mind, I'd like to further expand that all institutions must endeavor to constantly reinvent themselves and to shed the well-known old file syndrome which we follow so often in the country. I'm very pleased that our DGFMS Air Marshal D.P. Joshi and our Commandant Surgeon Vice Admiral Sushil Kumar have significantly contributed in all possible ways to promote research in this premier institute. We are glad that AFMC has been involved significantly in bringing about a change in the mindset regarding research at the undergraduate level, and I can proudly say that we are amongst the top number of UG projects sanctioned from central agencies like ICMR, DRDO, and regional things like the Maharashtra University of Health Sciences. We have got over 75 projects this year.